Alright. I think I've got this stream open in like 4 windows right now. Okay, but we are live. Let's give people a little bit of time to get in onto the stream, and then we'll start up this cast.
Damn it! Will you knock it off?
I'm reloading.
Bill!
So it looks like we're just waiting for one person to join up for Snugglegunz, it looks like.
Yep. Alright, well, let's get started on this. Thanks for coming and watching this stream, everybody. We should be getting in pretty quick. We're just waiting for one player to join up from Team Snugglegunz. This is a Cyber Gamer Finals bracket match. This is the semi-finals right now. So whichever team wins this is going to go on to the finals match for the Cyber Gamer Amateur League. We've got Team Belligerent, who right now has BRB, Bowflexen, Polos, Jeff, and I believe Jay is also playing. And on Snugglegunz we've got Gesh, Tony Stark in a Cave, playing right now as Anthony Stark in a Cave, and Kiki Kikobi Esquire, and one more player, which is yet to show up yet.
You might need to open another slot. I don't know why, but...
Damn it! Watch where you're shooting!
Alright, just a shout out for any of you guys who are just tuning in. The Left 4 Dead competitive site L4D Nation has just opened today, and that's actually a really big thing where it's going to be probably the biggest community for the competitive Left 4 Dead scene at this point, and it's going to encompass games throughout North America, Europe, Australia, everywhere. It's just started up by Rorak, and so things are getting going there. So you guys should totally check out L4DNation.com. We posted about the cast there, and there's going to be lots of people discussing things there, frag videos and whatnot. And we'll talk a bit more about that after the cast. Alright, looks like we got the last player in Malcontent. So we could see this game starting here pretty quick on No Mercy.
I'm actually interested to see how this turns out, because I've never really seen Snugglegunz play, I don't think. I've played with Tony Stark. Other than that, I actually don't know any of these players, so this should be interesting, especially on No Mercy.
Yeah, they were in the opposite division from Belligerent, and it was a little bit easier of a division, but they're still a really good team, and I think they can do pretty well on this map. Looks like they're having problems getting Malcontent into the game right now. Yeah, if any of you guys are watching and want to do shoutouts and whatnot, you should join the Cybercasters Steam group. There's a link on the Steam forums thread and the L4D Nation thread to the Steam group, I believe. And we're going to be sitting in the chat room there, so you can open up messages to either me or Sygnus in there.
This is bad.
And we'll be providing shoutouts.
Yes, sir, and it looks like we're just waiting for Malcontent to come back.
This sucks. No, 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 no! This sucks. You ready, guys?
Yeah, this map can be kind of tough. And last time Belligerent played on this map, they had a lot of issues, especially on that finale map.
Quit freaking shooting me!
So I'm sure they've got some bad memories of this map, but they'll probably have improved their play from then and be ready to go.
Yeah, I'd actually like to point out that I like how Valve tried to stop death charges up the ladder, or when you come off the top of the ladder. They tried to put a fence there so you couldn't get death charged, but actually, if you get it on the right angle, you can actually still death charge people off.
Yeah,
That's
but
pretty
at least there's like a much smaller angle of ways to get it from.
Very true.
Alright, looks like Malcontent's reconnecting here.
Zoe, stop shooting me!
Secure that weapon.
Alright, Snugglegunz has just given them the ready for the get. So we should see this starting really quick. Or not, since Jeff has to go wash his hands really quick. Gotta stay clean when you're playing Left 4 Dead.
Hey, hands are important when you're playing
This is
competitive games. I know when you see like the StarCraft 2 casts over there in Korea, all the players will be using hand warmers and stuff.
Yep.
Hands are very important. Can't play with cold cans. Don't want to play with dirty hands. Malcontent apparently having some internet issues. Hopefully they'll clear up and we'll be able to play through this game without interruptions.
What the hell are you doing, Francis?
Francis! We might need these. Here you go, you can have this.
I do have a couple shoutouts coming in already. Feel free to send those to me at any time. I've got a shout out from Bush Yoinknob to Helvetica. And that's the shout out.
Oh, knock that shit off,
Nice.
Francis!
Maybe he's talking about the font. Alright, and looks like our teams are getting ready now. We're just waiting for one last player to ready up, Tony Stark in a cave, who has just tried to ready and misspelled it, and we're going to be going live here.
Knock it off, Zoe!
Now we're gonna be starting off with Snugglegunz on Survivor, and this could set the pace for the rest of the map depending on how these guys play.
Go ahead and take this.
I expect Belligerent to... If they don't wipe them, I expect them to at least deal a lot of damage, just because I don't know these guys, but they could surprise me and make it with a very good health bonus. We'll have to see what happens.
Yeah, you have to keep in mind on Confogle there is going to be a tank here, which makes it very hard to survive, especially if you haven't had a lot of practice with it. We don't see a spitter for this first tip. We've got a tri-cap with the boomer. So we'll have to see how B&T goes for this. We've got a hunter spawning up in front, probably going to go for
Watch where you
a wall
point
kick off
that
the start.
thing.
to start this up. And the SI are spawning in, Kiki Kokobi getting pulled there. Getting two wonderful intercepts with Charger and Hunter. And the Boomer coming in for even more scratch damage, and then probably going to get a proxy boom here pretty quick. Lots of damage going in on that first hit, wow. About 150 damage in total just went in onto the survivors.
And we already see a tank coming up. Jeff's probably going to move in with that momentum they already have from that first attack. They already did, like you said, 150 damage. Looks like the survivors are going to go up to the safe room. I'm not quite sure.
I think they were thinking about getting some different guns, but I don't think they're actually going to go up there.
No.
There's a side room over here that hasn't been opened yet. That's actually a good place to take the tank. Tank is coming in from on top, though. He's sitting behind the survivors towards the safe room. Tank has committed. Getting Kiki cornered a little bit, but missing some punch. SI coming in, getting a triple boom. And now Pounce landing on one of the blinded survivors. Looks like they're unable to clear him. Kiki getting a few good jukes on this tank, but oh wow, they've actually gotten a lot of damage into this tank already. Tank is down at about 1,500 health right now, but two survivors just got stuck in the air. An oldie but a goodie glitch there right now. But the tank's pretty much dead. He has one survivor left to kill. Survivor at about 50 health right now. He just needs to get like 2 more full shotgun blasts and this tank will go down. Wow.
Get up, we ain't got time.
Last second kill there by Getch. Survivor team, but he does get charged, and it looks like this is probably going to be a wipe for the survivors right here.
Now, what you'll normally see teams do, at least in Left 4 Dead 1 when you play No Mercy, is they'll take it. If that room isn't open, they're going to go downstairs and take it in the kitchen / the living room kind of area. Which is what they should have done.
Yeah.
That would have been a much better spot to take the tank, and that would have limited the spawns the other team had. But they, you know, luckily they had it for a little bit, but...
yeah, that double punch up to the ceiling kind of screwed him over there. They could have killed the tank otherwise, I think.
Snugglegunz is showing us why you don't match your spacebar when you're fighting a tank indoors.
We can take the subway tunnels.
Anyways, we're gonna see Belligerent playing the survivor side for this map 1, round 2.
Well, I guess we're going to the hospital.
Snugglegunz is gonna be uninfected, of course. Coming off that wipe, probably not feeling too great, but on the other hand, if they haven't practiced No Mercy, they probably were expecting it.
Yeah, we'll just have to see if they can get the wipe onto Belligerent right here. With that tank, though, they should, unless he gets juked a whole lot, they should be able to do enough damage to at least wipe him somewhere on the map. Survivor's just moving out kind of slowly here. Looks like the infected are going to go for a similar hit.
But Belligerent pretty much showed us that No Mercy is a much better Left 4 Dead 2 map, but we see the Charger coming in. Hunter's gonna get destroyed before he can even land his bounce. Charger crashed into the wall with Francis in hand, only doing about 10 damage before he managed to land on the 2 of the survivors before dying. But as I was saying...
Go ahead.
I always like No Mercy better for Left 4 Dead 2 than Left 4 Dead 1. It always seemed like those 3 hunters really weren't able to do a whole lot unless you could land your quads, but interestingly enough, it looks like Belligerent's gonna be up here for a little bit. They may actually like to stay up here for the remainder of the tank, which could end up being interesting. They are going to chip that tank before he can get in.
I'm reloading.
That is an interesting move.
This could be a good spot and it could be a bad spot depending on how the spawns go. They can't all spawn on the top roof up there. And inside. But that AI Charger is going to break the door, it looks like.
We do get a charge landing on one of the survivors. The boom getting popped though, and the Hunter coming in a little bit late. Keeps falling off of the building here. Tank going in, getting one survivor punched down, and looks like he's just going to get out of there. Probably a good move.
That is a very good move. He's down to 75%, 72 rep. But he didn't get an in-cap, so that is definitely worth it. We're going to see him go in.
Just need a few more of that, and it should be a wipe for sure.
Yeah, definitely. We should see him go in. It looks like Kiki didn't know that Humvee actually kills infected for no apparent reason this game. It always killed infected. I guess he's finally figuring that out. That's unfortunate for him.
It's one of those random map
yeah.
features. It's been there since Left 4 Dead 1.
We're probably going to see this tank go in when Kiki gets his next spot. I'm interested to see how this works out. The spot seems to be working for them so far. But if
now since the survivors... Oh look, we get getting a pull. Getting completely missed, and the Charger going in sort of randomly there. Misses it too, and now the Spitter's gone down. But it looks like the tank's not going to commit on this. I have to wonder about that though. It seems like they could have easily just dropped the Spitter instead.
Yeah. what I'm kind of wondering here is what they plan to do when the tank is, just like you said, he could sit there all day, and they're just really in the safe from giving him free rage. He could just wait until he gets the spawns he wants and then move in. But,
I mean, they could just bleed pull us out all the way here. Use up all those pills.
yeah. I guess we're just gonna have to see, but that boomer is gonna get popped. Like I said, they are gonna go in, but they're gonna wait until they get exactly every spawn they want, it looks like. And so far they have a hunter and a charger. I guess they're looking for a third capper, probably gonna be going for a quad cap.
It seems like a good idea.
I sound like a sissy, but I'm hurt bad.
Zoe is actually in a pretty bad spot. She could get pulled really easily and get separated by intercepts. That's it.
Yeah, certainly.
For that, they get another spitter, so I don't know where the survivors don't just get in the hallway there. I mean, the tank would have...
Yeah, that would be a much better idea.
They could just sit there and he would lose rage, and the tank would have to come around a full corner just to punch them if they placed themselves correctly. They'd be able to make them lose rage and they wouldn't be putting themselves in really any danger.
Now, I'm not completely sure on this, but I believe that if you actually get on top of that building in the safe room, you might be out of the safe room. I'm not sure that. But we do see the tank committing right now. Getting a punch. Oh, Francis right there. Polis getting knocked off of the map. And it looks like we're going in for the final tri-cap right here. The charger does get taken down. We do have 2 cappers landing, and he just needs to get this last survivor, but the hunter does get punted off. He lands the cap again. Let's see if the tank can intercept this properly. He's going for a rock, which is a good way to get that intercept right there. Zoe's almost down. Hunter had barely any health left, and the tank just needs to get this one last survivor. Getting Jeff punched around, and it looks like this is going to be the wipe right here. Unless Jeff can do some amazing tank juking for the next minute or so. And the home run for the win right there. Wow, that was really well played by Snugglegunz.
Dude, I was playing Whoop There It Is in my head just as soon as I saw Francis slide off. I was like, oh my god, I was waiting for that to happen the whole time. I can't tell you how much I enjoyed seeing that tank.
That was
just destroy
amazing.
them.
It's always satisfying when the survivors go for a cheese move like sitting in safe room and you still sort of wipe them.
Like I said, though, they could have easily avoided having that tank just not lose any rage by just sitting in the hallway. They could have easily pushed down, tried to just, fight it down there, but, some spots you gotta take risks, I guess, and they decided to take that risk, and they ended up losing in the end, so. Snugglegunz is up by 10 points, or a little bit more than that, but
Grabbing pills?
not a whole lot since both teams wiped.
Hold up, I got something.
Yeah, it's good that they did wipe them though. Otherwise, this game could have gone pretty one-sided. And it looks like, before we have any time to talk about that map,
Grabbing pills.
the match is going to go live for the second map here on No Mercy 2. We do have Snugglegunz starting out on Survivors up. Looks like they're opting for 2 shotguns at this point.
I really don't think it matters how many Uzis you have, but on this map
Yeah.
in particular, it would be nicer to have shotguns because it is so close range.
Absolutely.
Looks like we're gonna have BNC go for an early attack as soon as they drop. Snoker is gonna pull off looking for that boom, but he does miss. This is pretty much already a wasted effort by BNT. They should have just sacked
a little
the spot
sloppy
as soon as
there.
they saw that boomer miss. The spin is gonna be employed blocking them for a few moments unless they go to the right, and they are doing so. So that first attack is pretty much shut down.
I have to say, for this opening right here, if you don't get hit early like that, it's a really good idea for the survivors to just take that way down to the vent in a lot of scenarios because it's hard for chargers and whatnot to make it down that entire hallway. We do have the survivors pushing up onto the subway jacks at this point. B&T finally getting their spawns again, and they've got a 2-2 this time with the jockey and the smoker. I can't see them doing a lot of damage on this hit, but wow, they're being really sloppy with their spawns right here.
Yeah.
Jockey going in solo and getting completely destroyed, but this boomer manages to walk in and get 3 of them boomed. Pull landing for just a split second there, and Spit getting a little bit of free damage, probably more than he should, but the attack's down right now, and survivors should be able to move up pretty quickly.
Now, I'm normally not too critical, but excuse my French, but I'm surprised they managed to pull anything out of their butt with that attack. That boomer just walked in and they didn't even look at it. You got a 3 boom, but everything else got pretty much shut
those
down.
2 attacks were just really sloppy. And they didn't really drop them fast enough for them to be sacks. We do have the tank coming in the hands of BRB Bowflexen right now. They do have a SI up. They just dropped their spitter now, so they've got a hunter and jockey waiting in spawn. So it looks like we'll probably just see, the tank wait for Tricap and go in with that. Is that what you're thinking too?
Yeah, that's pretty typical of most teams nowadays. But it's not a bad idea ever, so this is fine. The tank is now swapped to BNTJ. Bowflexen is going to pick up the hunter from the
spawn
swap. And he does get a jockey. We're going to see this tank moving with the quad. This could be the round right here if they are able to last.
Oh, completely missing his punch.
He is going to hit Tony Stark though. We're going to see the spots coming. Tony Stark is just getting nailed against the wall. Smoker is going to land a pull out Lewis jockey.
Oh no!
And they're going for the same target though. That's going to be a horrible mistake.
The tank is able to corner Zoe right now though, and they do have the quad right here. If they can just get Gesh down and cover that hunter a little bit. Wow. A little sloppy on those SI, but the timing was great, and the tank was able to get an extra player cornered because of it.
By the time they were done trying to kill the hunter and the jockey, the tank had already downed one, so at that point it was pretty much a lost cause.
Tony Stark putting up a good half. That was a pretty good wipe. Kind of made up for their lackluster SI before. That was a really good SI targeting. Even though they had excess for what they needed, that smoker pull was actually really good, in my opinion.
Take this.
Yes, sir. So we're going to see Belligerent playing the survivor side now, coming off that wipe, probably feeling pretty good. And right now they're probably just thinking what they're going to do for that tank. And long and short of it is they're probably not going to focus that tank until the SI are down, because they don't want to get quadded like that. Well, not necessarily quadded, but get double capped and then 2-in capped by the tank.
Yeah,
so
if you're going for a tri-cap with tank, it's real important to get those SI down.
Yeah, definitely. Looks like they're going to be taking it really slowly coming out of the safe room here. And Snugglegunz as well. It doesn't look like they really want to rush into any attack, which could be a good idea.
I've seen attacks like this before. The idea is you try to get the survivor sort of stuck on this first landing of the staircase. If they actually take the staircase down, you get the hunter and the boomer in front to sort of stick them there and have the spit come from the back and a pull just get somebody separated in the back. And you can actually land a decent amount of spit damage there, especially with like a silent pounce opening or something.
Yeah, and it looks like they're just going to duck under.
Zoe's
going to
going
get proxied on the Zoe though, and the spit is going to miss blatantly. The hunter's going to pounce around, really just trying to kill himself. That smoker is in the back, going to pull Francis for a few moments before getting clear.
It could have been a good hit, but that timing on the hunter and the smoker was just really bad. We only had the boomer and spitter going there at the beginning.
Yeah, you know, sometimes I laugh at people for popping themselves, but at the same time, if they couldn't have landed the melee and save their teammates from being boomed, then it's more worth it than just, you know, letting him boom all over anybody. Possibly get a second boom. Take no chance.
We do have a new hit coming up here. It's a 2-2 again, but with a hunter instead of a smoker on this one.
You know, if I was them right now, I'd just sack the boomer and the spitter and let them spawn the tank. Because
that'd be a really good idea.
There is no HR up here actually, but I think there is a TOV right around here. I don't know if BNT knows that, but if they sack their attack,
they have
BNT can rush them.
Actually.
Oh really? Oh, I'm blind. Never mind.
Yep, they just got a pipe bomb in addition.
Prodigy is making me look bad. Stop it.
I'm sure they just found it as you said it. I would know.
But yeah, anyway, they can't really do much of this attack either way. But they are sending their spawns in. That jockey is going to go in and get dead stopped. Hunter landing his past. The boomer is going to vomit on 2 of the survivors with the spit pretty much missing, not getting any damage.
Spit went a little far back. I would have rather seen them use it to block the survivors a little maybe, but it's not really going to matter since they're boomed and taking it slow.
Yeah, they've actually done less damage than BNT has done so far, which is funny because they were really sloppy, like you said, on the first 2 attacks.
Indeed.
But their tank is up for Kiki Kobe, Esquire.
Looks like Snugglegunz has a spitter again. They'll probably sack it, similar to how BNT did. Kinda seems like we're almost gonna see a mirror matchup here. We'll have to see what they get after the spitter goes down. BNT delaying the spitter sack as much as possible, looks like. He's getting a few extra punches, but that delay is really important because it looks like the first pass is gonna come in here really quick.
Yeah, he's trying really hard to keep that rage, but ultimately he would have taken extra chip if he just kept peeking. They finally noticed he was looking, so that's going to be the first pass, and they did get a boomer. This could be bad.
They do have 3 spawns right now, though. Boomers can actually be really good on this hit, too, just sort of like in Left 4 Dead 1. Not quite as effective, but you can get a lot with the boomer. Boomer completely missing, though. The 2-cap goes in first. Looks like Tank's just going to go for a rock. Did he get that rock? I did not.
Yeah, he actually did. He got
wow.
back too.
The survivors are now pushing the tank a little bit, it looks like. And it looks like he's going to run back, maybe AI it, or maybe he's just avoiding chip right here. I believe
No, he's just avoiding chip. What the survivors can do there is they can really just move up and chip them as much as they want. They can really not be afraid of spawns because they know they're not up, but they are up now. Guess
looks like this tank should be going in.
Hunter, and they do have the quad. This tank is going to roll in. 5,000 health right now is being chipped further. That jockey's going in really early though. The smoker as well. The hunter is trying to land, but he could not get it before the jockey was cleared. Jeff is going to go down to 2 to 10. Tank
still does have quite a bit of health, and it looks like he's going to be able to babysit this for at least a little bit. He's probably going to take too much chip if he keeps going for that. And Bowflexen's looking for that light so hard, but it looks like the tank's going to be able to juke it properly. He does keep the survivors off of that in-cap player just a little bit more. Sitting at about 50% health right now, and the light is up, but it looks like they're not going to try to pick him up in the middle of that light. They want that health bonus.
No, and I don't really like what Tony Stark did there. He really should have backed off into under the first level or the second level, right? He would have avoided taking that 2,000 chip, and I mean, it would have picked him up, but they had a chance for another full push attack with pretty much the same health he came in with.
Yeah,
so
it looks like
he's swinging, but he's gonna. Oh my god, he took so much damage. That charger's gonna whip as well. This tank is gonna die before landing his last punch. Still whiffing.
Ouch!
Bill kills him with an axe to the face. That is embarrassing, ladies and gentlemen, and that is BNT handling a tank.
Hey, no problem.
Yeah, that was some really good tank handling. I want to say it was mostly Snugglegunz sort of bad timing. One on their SI and just choosing to try to babysit that in-cap guy. He took way too much chip trying to do that.
Yeah, the more and more I look at it, the only thing that really counts in this game is, well, at least for infected, tank obviously requires the most skill, but if you know it perfectly on an end, this is so really interrupt. The jockey's going to go up against the sword in a matter of seconds. Boomer whiffing his vomit. Smoker pulled Zoe for a few moments. The hunter is going to get dead and stop.
Wow, I couldn't believe that Boomer missed that boom.
Yeah, the more and more I look at it, tanks are just... You can't really make a mistake as infected. Like, the only thing you can do perfectly is timing. And after that, it's all about tank. And
absolutely.
More often than not, the only time a survivor team wipes is when they make mistakes, not the other team.
Definitely.
So BNC pretty much showing that
they know how to handle their survivor side.
That tank just...
I think I'm hurt bad.
He didn't do a good enough job. He kept peeking for punches and he missed, and he took like 1k chip at a time, and that's just not how you play tank.
On the other hand, survivors moving up here. It looks like the hunter's going to start off this attack. Scares the survivors off a little bit. Not quite going to start here. But it looks like they're going to look for some spit damage right as the survivors get into this area. I've sort of got a feeling that they're going to get baited out a little bit too well here, now that they've sort of shown their hand with that hunter. Move up, getting a little chip on the hunter. Hunter not quite landing. Both hunter and charger getting stumbled there. Getting a couple ticks of damage off of the charger and the hunter, but not really a whole lot going on with that hit.
I was wondering what the spitter was doing there. He didn't even wait for his charger to go in. And even if he did, the charger wouldn't have landed on them. Boomer popped them. Boomer popped on him for about a moment, but he landed the charge. The spit wasn't there. He just kind of spat really early. I'm not sure. But anyways, that attack pretty much got handled as well. They do have a nice setup, and Polis is getting swarmed right now by Com, and he does get vomited as well. There is one person in the stairway right now, but they decided not to go for him again. Are they gonna go
It's
in
the one
now?
without health bonus, so it wouldn't be too worth it to get a lot.
Did that smoker spawn when the Boomer went in, or did he?
I think he tried to get the... I think he was up at the same time as the Boomer, yeah.
Well, in any case, that pre-spawn smoker is going to be very helpful, but they are probably going to want to go in with it really quickly here when Tony Stark gets his... He does get a Boomer. This is an interesting spot to take it. I've honestly never seen it taken here. But they can get really split. Boomer's being popped on. Lewis, he doesn't get pulled, and the Hunter lands on Pulse for a few moments. Charger whipping them. He does get a punch before he dies. Axe to the face by Pulse.
Looks like the survivors are going to try to push through this event at this point, which is probably a good idea. That spot, I haven't seen that a whole lot, but the basic idea behind it is that you can block so many spawns in there, and you know the L4D2 SI take a lot longer to get in, so you could chip them all through there pretty easily. But I mean, you still end up, if all the SI go in on one end, it's really easy to get intercepts and some separation there. Survivors have completed the event though, still sitting with a very sizable health bonus of 500 right here. Snugglegunz only has a couple more hits before this is over, and they've got a 2-2 right now. Of course, in these enclosed spaces, if they can get a hit, they'll be able to get some pretty big damage in. And it looks like the pull going in on Lewis, getting him intercept coming in with the jockey. Spit landing there, not quite getting a whole lot. It looks like Zoe's clearing them through the wall, played by BNTJ. But we did get an in-cap on Polis because of that incredible jockey intercept right there.
Yeah, I don't actually think that he got cleared through the wall. He was spamming it for a long time, but it wasn't killing the smoker. What happened was, when the Boomer, he was too close, he came out of the door and he popped and knocked the smoker away. So that could have been way better than it was, but that Boomer was a little too close to the smoker.
Yeah.
Otherwise, that was a very good attack.
On the other hand, the person who was smoked wasn't really carrying much of the health bonus.
Yeah.
But yeah, looks like a Hunter's going for quite a DP that I don't imagine he has quite the range to get. He is going in now, and he lands the first guy for a take 25 right there. Wow, the hit coming in finally, they do get the car hit. The health bonus is still staying steady right now though, at about 350.
Yeah, they dropped about 200 health bonus. It was around 500 before Polos got really messed up. I believe I saw it before the event. Yeah, it's only about 300, so they didn't lose that much.
They went down about 200 points in those last two attacks.
Yeah, that was more than
mostly
enough
the
to
first
gain a lead,
one.
though. They're up by about 700 right now.
Absolutely. This next map's going to be another really interesting one. It's got quite a long event, which you can camp on to some extent, but you can take a lot of chip while you're camping it, and of course if you try to rush it, you could end up running into a tank. So, this map's mostly going to be about that event, I believe. How do you like to take this event, Sygnus?
Depends. I haven't scrimmed this map enough in Left 4 Dead 2. But in Left 4 Dead 1, at least when Malcontent was in Sivo, we took that event right under the little roof there, I guess.
Oh, by the,
right where the event is.
lift right there?
What we would do is we would just spread out and basically make a little square perimeter so that we didn't get stumbled from the hunters that came in. So we didn't get quadded, and it worked out pretty well.
I've actually seen some teams take it there on Left 4 Dead 2, and they're able to get...
Yes,
they're
the
able
only
to stop
thing I
attacks
wouldn't like
pretty
that
well.
for Left 4 Dead 2 is spit damage. I like open areas in Left 4 Dead 2 to hold out events, but as I'm so rudely interrupted, they actually trying to go up in that jockey and charge it and
Ouch.
do anything. He's trying to crash through the door, but the jockey lands on Zoe for a few moments before getting destroyed. Charger does manage to get a punch off before he gets clubbed in the face by Cricket-Bat, I think that is. But is that
Yeah, I believe he got a double punch right there. Managed to get 22 damage, but yeah, the survivors just sort of rushed out there. And the infected weren't quite able to deal with it.
Yeah, they still got quite a hefty amount of damage, though. Considering it's the first attack, I was surprised. But
I've
I
seen
guess
that
it could've
attack
been
be
mildly
really
better.
devastating. It just sort of depends on whether you go forward or to the left.
But yeah, Left 4 Dead 2, I think I'd like to take this. I'm really interrupted again by the boomer who spawns up and gets meleeed and killed by Jay. I kind of like to take Left 4 Dead 2 events out in the open, just so that you can avoid getting charged and spit on pretty much.
Yeah, definitely.
Or areas that are hard to get charged in, at least.
Reloading!
That's the only thing I really worry about in closed-off spaces, is getting spit and charged on. Because no matter how good you are, you're not going to land every single level.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
anyways,
Survivors look like they're gonna take it back in the burger tank, which is a
Ooh,
pretty
I
good
actually-
spot for Left 4
I do
Dead
like
2, I
this
think.
spot.
It's just on the other side of the waterworks.
those
If you
tables are
position
really good
yourself
for-
quite well, it's really easy to either funnel all the chip onto one player, or just completely stop attacks with this positioning. We do have a hit coming in though, and Charger does manage to get one player right there. Jockey getting another one in the back. Some spit coming in, and it looks like DNT Jeff is taking the most of this attack. A little bit went in on a J2. But as you
Yeah.
can see, not completely devastating or anything.
And the
Just
reason
some-
I like this spot is because if you sit up on the tables further to the well, closer to the wall, I guess, it's really hard to get that charger in before he dies, because what he did there was he basically just charged to the table and he got Francis because he was right on the edge. But if he was further more to the right, I guess, or the left, depending on where you're looking at him, he could have avoided being charged at all.
Yeah. It's just
And
really
plus those
important. You have
tables.
two basic spawns you need to block, and one is over by the bathroom at the front, and the other is in that hallway at the back that Zoe's watching right there. We do have another hit coming in, a Boomer managing to get two players. Charger landing in the back with the spit, and now a pounce onto Bill right there.
Oh lord. Bowflexon just got double stumbled into the spit. Really unfortunate for him, but shit happened.
Quite a botastic moment.
Indeed.
Not really. But yeah. They are getting a decent amount of chip in right now. I believe we've got two survivors in the yellow. Bowflexon sitting just barely above right now at 43 health. And we have another hit ready. This event is, of course, still going on. We'll have to see how the survivors handle this next. The Charger coming in from the back right now, getting a charge on the TNT chip. Boom does land on two. And it looks like a pull just coming in there for a little bit of extra chip. Lots of damage has gone on these survivors so far.
Yeah, I'm honestly surprised how much damage they've taken. Like, I like that spot just because you get mitigated so much, but every single charger is landed. They all come from the back,
Yeah.
and I guess they haven't learned to turn around and start looking through that window there. They could easily kill the charger before he
Yeah, you need some help chipping him instead of just letting Jay take care of everything.
Definitely, but their next hit is up. They do have a 2-2 setup, so this could be devastating if they have a charger, but they don't. They have a Hunter and a jockey.
Hunter looks like he just wants to despawn right now. He's just bouncing around a little bit. Looks like he'll probably come in through the window. Oh, and wow, both tappers going in on one player right there. The jockey actually preventing Jay from getting a stand-up animation after that. So it looks like this attack's over, and they're just playing with the Boomer right now to delay that spawn.
That was some poor communication on the part. It looked like he wanted to jockey Zoe because she was
Out
down
the
alone.
window.
But the Hunter kind of just came through the window and landed on him at the
Right.
same time. So. But the tank is up for Tony Stark in a cave.
Showing us the reason why you can't rush this event. Because if they had that tank in the middle of the event right there, they would have gotten completely wrecked.
Yes,
Tank
sir.
destroying the door for the survivors. It's
Yeah, I
always
don't
a
know
nice
why-
move.
I don't know why anyone
He
does
didn't even
that,
go out
actually.
through there. I
Yeah,
mean, if you really need to rush out down there, it's a good idea. Looks like they're just going to go for rock real quick and get the tanks if Oh, but we do get a 2-cap landing. The tank's choosing to clear Francis from that Hunter in order to get some rage.
Which was a good choice overall. It didn't look like he was going to land on anybody else, so
Yeah,
may as well.
absolutely.
That Hunter was probably going to get cleared soon anyway.
He does have quite a lot of health, not a lot of sight right here. Now, I believe on this tank, sometimes the survivors are just too far away, and even though you can see him, you still lose rage here. And it looks like that is definitely happening to Tony Stark right now, who has just passed the tank.
Reloading!
Yeah, that's the one thing I actually love about Left 4 Dead 1 is if the survivor's even looking at you, you can keep your rage, right? In Left 4 Dead 2, it seems if anything clouds your vision at all, then you are losing rage even if the survivors are looking at you. Which is the case in Hard Rain a lot of the time if there's a storm. And even though the survivors are looking at you, you're gonna lose rage just because that fog is in the way.
Absolutely.
But the tank is moving in all the way down to 38%, or 3,800 health already down to 3,500. The hunter is bouncing in, but he just gets skeeted by Bowflex.
Oh, and that light spread just perfectly. I didn't see who landed that light, but now the tank is forced to move in without any SI help at all. And he's getting juked around quite well and completely destroyed right there.
Yeah, it looks like their infected hits were doing a good job, but that tank really couldn't do a whole lot. He was literally down to about half by the time he committed in, and their spawns just got shut down. The charger did land, but he was cleared really quickly, and the smoker didn't even land a pulse. So
Yeah.
being out in the open really does help a lot when it comes to Left 4 Dead.
Yeah,
But,
it's really hard to wipe with that tank unless you get like a magic forklift or something.
But yeah, we're gonna see their next SI come in pretty quickly here. They do have a 2-2, but both of the non-cappers actually got meleeed. Boomer getting popped on Zoe though, and she gets hung for about 10-15 points of damage before getting cleared.
We do still have 2 survivors though with a significant amount of permanent health. And the health bonus is sitting right now at 468. Which will be pretty good if they can keep it up, but there's still quite a few pretty tough choke points you can get a lot of spit damage in on.
Yeah, definitely. This could prove really interesting depending on what they get. And they already have a charger, boomer, and a spitter, so this could be already shaping up to look like a ton of damage.
Take this. 7 pills.
With Smoker too though. Not quite the greatest choke point to hit at yet. It looks like the Smoker going for a pull, getting stopped by BNTJ right there.
Oh my
Boomer
Lord.
also getting stopped. Spit going in, separating the survivors a little bit. I did not see what happened to that charger.
That charger just got mowed down. Like, literally, as soon as they heard him, he got shot down. I think he got shot by the shotgun, point blank, dealing a ton of damage. And then the HR just brought him down for the rest of his health. And he really did. He couldn't even get his charge up. Ultimately, I don't really like that area to charge in, just because it's such a long hallway. They could have went in at the bottom of the stairs. Probably would have been a much better hit. But I'm not here to critique. I'm here to cat.
Can't have one without the other. We do have the SI. Looks like they're going to go in for another hit right here. Not really choosing the best spot. It looks like they're going to back out.
At the end of that hallway, and it looks like they're probably going to send a shooter. It could be a really easy draw ground.
Yeah, it looks like that's what's going to happen. SI are seeing if they can get set up around this, though.
One thing they actually could do, but I don't think they know this, is there is an infected ladder that lets them drop through those little holes in the roof there. They obviously don't know that. That witch is getting destroyed right now. She did get a headshot. Hunter gets dead stopped and meleeed by Francis, showing that infected who's boss, and that's gonna give them the ladder. They have no spawns. They do have a charger, actually, I believe, but that's it.
Charger and a spitter, it looks like. Yeah, they do.
Oh my gosh, they're gonna
Let's
get
see if they're able to get this.
Oh, the charger actually does get up.
Oh, but he
into the
walks
charger.
over
And
Francis.
he gets Zoe. Interesting that spitter doesn't have a spawn though, and that's literally gonna be the ladder. That was their one chance to kill them. They shouldn't have gone on that witch. That was a bad call.
Yeah.
And that is gonna give BNC way more health bonus than they should have had.
Getting a last minute pull onto Zoe there, not really worth a whole lot. She's all in temporary health. Looks like the survivors will be getting in with 328 health bonus right now.
Yeah, like I said, you should just... You never want to go or set up on a witch like that, especially in an area like that where you can get stuffed really easily. And
absolutely.
you just generally don't want to go on a witch at all. She is such a liability, and rarely ever will you get a wipe out of it.
We might need these.
Yeah.
And they gave up, for sure, tons of damage, unless, you know, BNT just destroyed everything, but that charger is going to get a quick spawn. Inside spin is on 3 survivors. Actually, the spin miss. I am so wrong. That charger is still destroying Francis right there, and the jockey is just bringing loose even farther away from his team, so already an in-cap right outside the safe. Oh my god, I can't even imagine what that would have been like if the spit landed on the front doorway there, but good lord. Like you said before, you said that attack could be really devastating, that just proved it right.
Yeah.
They got demolished.
Yeah, it's a really tight space, especially right out of safe room, so if you can get a hit right there, it's worth a lot. There's like a boomer going in and getting popped by Gesh on the survivor team. So now they're set up with a charger and a smoker and a spitter, which could be good if, you know, the survivors decided to push this event, which I don't believe they'll do. But it's just always a good idea to keep that charger and that smoker around just in case.
Anyways, it looks like they're actually going to take this outside. I'm interested as to why he's on top of the forklift, but high ground for snipers is usually a good idea. That smoker looks like he spawned up and ready to go for the sniper, though. He is going to do it. He is so separated that charger's going to whip. The jockey is going to ride loose away once again. He's going to get way more damage than he should be. Finally gets cleared by the shotgun of Kiki Kikobe, I believe.
Looks like the survivors are actually going to be pushing up here.
I'm confused as to why they do this. They either stop caring at this point, or they're going to move up only so far that they don't spawn the tank.
They're going to sit in this area right here to take the event, which can actually be pretty good if they can manage to block the spawns properly, since there's only really one way for the SI to come in right here. The boomer does get a boom onto Francis right there. If he gets pulled down, this could be devastating. That could start the tank. But it looks like our smoker's not going to go for that. All three SI going in on the back though, one of them getting completely stopped, the hunter. Charger getting one ticked right there, and the smoker's just sort of sitting there, not quite sure what to do. I feel like he should really get out right now.
He could have jumped on the semi and go for a pull, and they move out to like pick him, but
yeah.
I'm kind of wondering what he thinks he's doing right here.
We get another boom going in on Tony Stark in the cave right there, not really doing a whole lot. New spawns coming in. They do have a smoker, spitter, hunter all in spawn. The smoker did despawn. This is looking to be an alright spot for the survivors as long as they don't get stuck in some spit. And the spitter spitting on what he thought was a hunter landing, but definitely was not. Hunter getting destroyed. Smoker completely down right now. That was the hit. Wow.
Yeah, you know what I just remembered, Twiz in one of his casts, he said one of the funniest things that I'd ever heard before. When the boomer landed on 3 survivors, he got 3 of them out, and he called it a 3-bag.
A 3-bag.
A 3-bag. And when 2 survivors are boomed, what do you call it? 2-bag, obviously.
Snugglegunz really showing us how you can take that, another way to take that event though. Is you bait out the first hit and then take the walk. And it looks like the tank is up. Oh my gosh. Tony Stark and the cave getting separated right there, but manages to juke out of the way. Now all 3 SI are spawned up in front right there. And the tank has chosen to take out that door there too. Let's
I'm kind of wondering what the idea behind it. I don't know.
I'm not completely sure. I do suppose usually after this tank though, survivors are going to go back up for ammo anyhow. Looks like the SI just going in to get rid of their spawned up selves really quick. We do have BNT Jeff sitting on top, gonna try to get some rage right here with some rocks, not gonna be able to get that side, and he's about to pass, I believe.
Yes, sir. He did say take some chip for a little bit of extra rage, the spitter is gonna go in and get killed, but Jeff is passing. Tank now in the hands of Pullet. The spitter is burning, but I guess they just want to leave her up to die on all on a lonesome. So Tank is really just throwing rocks.
I don't know if I'm gonna make it.
And they're really just gonna wait for Jay spawn, which is gonna be up in about 11 seconds.
Reloading.
Looks like Polis is gonna go for this forklift right here. Light going in and missing Polis right now.
Wow.
Reloading.
That was
That was a bit of a Hail Mary throw right there.
Yeah,
It's not necessary. Forklift a little bit out of position right now. SI going in. Looks like Forklift getting 2 survivors right there. With an amazing ricochet. There it is. Wow, it looks like he's going to go for some kills right here. I don't know if he's going to get them. Oh yeah, he has plenty of health. He did just toss that forklift away right now though. All he has to do is stay alive until some more SI get in at this point. And the forklift going in. It looks like the survivors are going to be completely wiped here. Wow.
That was
There's
pretty much the
nothing
game
left.
right there. That was quite the forklift head. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, that was definitely really good.
This is gonna eat the charge right there, and that's gonna be the end of round 3.
B&T showing us once again that they know how to handle their tanks.
Jesus, I'm down.
And that's gonna be a 1,500 point lead for B&T.
Yeah. I'm gonna try to catch up on some shoutouts. This game's just been going so fast, I haven't been able to do any of them. I've got a shoutout from Intel to Sygnus for your jockey laugh, which you should definitely do on a cast.
No.
Let's see, I've got a shoutout from Pro Carltonism. Shout out to Nutman, I love you more than Jenna. Please marry me. And I've got a shoutout from Forsaken, who says hi. And that should be about it.
Maybe one day you guys will be able to be graced by my jockey lap. Maybe.
Maybe.
Pounding the hell out of me. Get this thing off
I've got a
me.
shout out from Antero telling us all that he's Terrabad.
I gotta take of
Nice.
me. This thing killing me.
I knew the truth would come out one day.
Get this thing off
One
me.
day.
This thing killing
Looks like
me.
we've got a shout out from BNTJ who wants to plug L4DNation.com, which you guys should definitely check out. It's the new competitive Left 4 Dead site coming up, made by Rorak. And it just opened today, so we'll be really looking forward to seeing everybody on that new site.
Reloaded.
Looks like we're just waiting for a couple of the survivors to ready up at this point. I've got a shout out from BNT Polas to the Canadian bad boys, Bowflexin and Mode.
And it looks like we are going to start. Belligerent is going to be starting on their survivor side of this map for No Mercy.
Grabbing some pills.
Grabbing
With Snugglegunz uninfected.
Here, man.
And if you are just tuning in, BNT is up by 1,500 points. The scores are 370 for Snugglegunz to 1816 for BNT, but the Charger and Hunter, or Jockey rather, is going. But they are really just going to sit inside and try to kill that Jockey, and then it does work. That Boomer is going to get walled by Jay, though, just spamming his shotgun. That Charger goes in and fit of rage, eats the wall, or the door rather. The Smoker's going to get shut down too, and that attack is pretty much gone.
I really like how BNT pushed out from that safe room right there. And doing something I really like to do on that map is you just send one person up and move room by room, and you can actually flip those doors out the other direction to block a lot of the SI.
Yes.
We do have the tank up right now in the hands of Malcontent. He's getting a little bit chipped by this hunting rifle right here. Hitting him through the wall. He's lost almost 1,000 health at this point. We do have a Charger, Jockey, and Boomer for Snugglegunz right now. We'll have to see if they decide to push in with this for a hit, or what they're going to do. It looks like Boomer spawning up and managing to get Bill right there. Tank going for a rock, but he loses it onto the ceiling.
I mean, I hate to be a huge jerk, but Malcolm pretty much showing us what you shouldn't do in that situation.
Yeah.
He ate so many HR bullets while throwing that rock and while going in between rooms. Really should have just elected it. Whoa! Tony Stark actually jumping off the top of the stairs, going all the way down. Kind of wondering if he's going to elect to push from the bottom here. It looks like he's going to do exactly that.
It looks like he might come out in the middle. Yeah, we do have a quad now.
He's going to start moving in. Tony Stark in a cave with the tank, showing us how good he is. Going to whip his first punch, but he is going to... I lied, and he just gets stunned right after missing a second punch. Third punch, pushing that charger is dead. Finally landing a punch onto Francis, but he isn't going to do that much damage. Whipping his fourth punch. Fifth punch going to land onto Francis, and that's going to be it for that tank.
Wow. Had a lot of potential with that one, but those stumbles just destroyed him.
Yeah, it looked like his second punch should have landed, but it looks like he got horribly juked by Francis there. That was a pretty nice play by him. And then that stun right after pretty much finished it for him. All of his spawns are down, he got stumbled. That was game at that point.
I have a shout out from Bush Yoinknov to thin hospital walls. Playing a good role in this game.
I mean, you don't know how long this place has been. Well, maybe they got there like 5 weeks after the infection or something. But that smoker is going to look for a pull on Lewis, but it manages to miss somehow. I don't know how. The hunter is going to bounce around, look for maybe... they're leaving Francis, who is separated, but he finally gets the pull. Going to get cleared by Bill, though, and that boomer's going to get popped on Francis and Bill. Lewis in the background is chopping up some infected with his battle axe.
I thought they were going to get a tri-cap there for a little bit, but they didn't quite get it.
Yeah. I have a shout out from Asylum to Sygnus, 90 man, bro. I don't know what that means, but I love you too, Asylum. The next hit should be up right about now. And I'm interested to see if they're going to sack spawns if they're going to go in for damage, but I would expect damage at this point.
Yeah. And they're closing the door just as I go, and Charger charging into the door, not able to bust through it, it looks like. Spit going in for a little bit of damage. They did get a little bit of chip there, but that's a hard place to hit into anyway.
Yeah, but those doors are gone now, so the next attack they have will not be handled by the doorway.
Yeah, definitely.
And trust me, I know a thing or two about doorways. I lost a match to one. But, I'm not gonna get into that.
Doorways are difficult.
Nah, dude, the door stumbled the tank. Lost 4,000 health. That's how we lost. I'm not kidding.
I've seen that
Did
before.
you see that?
Yeah, I believe that I saw that. Alright, looks like hits going in. Smoker pull getting destroyed right there. Gaki does manage to hit one. The Charger gets a little bit on the pull as there. He's taking a lot of spit damage. They just took down most of his permanent health with that hit.
What they
Pretty
should
well
be doing
done.
is pushing right now. That board is finally done. There's like no zombies up there.
Elevators here!
Elevators here!
So we should see a maximum of about 3, maybe 4 hits. Now that they're coming up the elevator here.
Yeah, and it's really going to depend. I haven't seen any teams be able to get consistent death charges out of this area.
Yeah, that's the one thing I think. People come up to this area and they get the mentality as infected, like, okay, we have a charger, let's go for a death charge. But I don't think that should be what you're thinking. What you should be thinking is going for a charge, and if you get a death charge, it's just kind of
Yeah.
side vote kind of thing. Or side vote. I mean, the cherry on top of the cake, I guess.
Bowflex putting up an all-talk vote to share some music, apparently. Or Jay putting it up. But that's gonna get rejected. Yeah, I usually would rather just see teams go for regular attacks in this area. Of course, there is a witch spawning up. I believe the survivors can actually start that witch before they get out to that ledge, if they're able to figure out where she is.
This is the one thing I like about this map, and if there's a witch on top here, especially on Left 4 Dead 2, it could be very game-breaking.
Yeah.
That one A-cap could lead to a pull off the side, and even a jockey off the side, because Left 4 Dead 2. That witch is going to get scratched, but they're obviously looking to shoot her, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, then that's not really the best choice.
The horde is going to come in, though. I would expect to see their lowest just go for the draw crown, which would be Bolas. But I guess we'll just have to see what they do.
Oh, they do have a gas
toss
can.
that gas can. And
Oh, and he's gonna be able to get it! But it spreads the opposite direction! Oh no, there it goes! Which climbing over a forklift right here. Over some sandbags. She's taking the obstacle course. Wow, over the spool. Finally going in. And dying.
And Valve is really showing us how well they made their AI pathing. Not like it matters. So they still have their head.
Reloading.
Hunter going for a quick pass right here, managing to get it onto Francis. Charger going in. He's not going to get a death charge. Please just charge. No, it's destroyed by a melee to the face. They do have Bowflex and Belligerent, but it's not worth much.
See, could have just waited for them to move on. Like, I think they were expecting the charge to come in too early. They all brought their meds out. They would have just got hurt by combat at most, and then he could have just waited for when they don't expect it.
I think if he had just committed right in, he could have gotten like a multi-charge there. I doubt they would have gotten him. I think he could have gone before they were ready to take that level.
Yeah, and he would have taken him all the way down the hall there.
Yeah.
But I think that's a rookie mistake a lot of the time, is they'll get too bullheaded and be like, I'm gonna get this death charge, I'm gonna get this death charge, and they just get super melee. But that boomer does get a pretty bad. Literally landing on top of Zoe, who is in a corner of the spig, gets boomed back into the spig, getting destroyed right now.
Wow, Snugglegunz really ripping up their health bonus on that last hit. They're down to only one survivor with just a little bit of permanent health right now. Only a health bonus of 172. Which you can do a lot better than on this map, to be sure.
Definitely, and I'm interested to see if, no offense to them, but I'm interested to see if Snugglegunz is going to make this map.
Yeah.
That tank is kind of tough, depending on how they deal with it, but...
Yeah, they're going to have to be just as aggressive as B&T was with their chip and everything. But if they make it through this tank, I think they can make it through the map without a problem. We do have the jockey spawning up in that room that we saw B&T push up through. Looks like they're going to try to grab anybody who goes into there. Of course, they could just run up and shut that door, and that would be game over. Just baiting some common in at this point. Survivor's still just moving out slowly.
They are gonna corn Ghost out, but they don't see that jockey's behind the surgical table there. Smugger is gonna get shot down by the HR. Oh, Tony Stark indicated the Charger is on the right-hand side room. The jockey's gonna go in for a right on his face, though. The Charger goes in for a punch and a charge, but he does get cleared by the axe of...
Bill, I believe? Oh, I'm not sure.
No, Bill's a dude.
Of course.
Anyway. Not a whole lot of damage done, no surprise there. Snugglegunz is going to move up, and it looks like it's going to be a Jeff tank.
Reloading! Reloading!
Reloading.
So he's really playing this. Oh my gosh, he goes in, gets a hit right off the bat onto Francis. He looks like he might even take him down right here and now. Francis manages to take his kills, but he is getting mowed down by the tank. Endless punches, they do have a tri-cap.
Yeah.
Straight away, but that tank is just destroying the survivors. I don't think he's missed a punch yet.
Over the Hunter and the Charger both got destroyed.
Yeah, I missed that in all the action. I saw the jockey got melee killed, but the Hunter and Charger didn't really land very long either. So they already did a good amount of damage with that tank, but he is at about 2,000 health, so he's not in that great a shape right now.
They need to get that hunting rifle sniping at that room instead of sitting on the opposite side of the map.
Yeah.
Idling.
Looks like they're gonna pass this tank, though.
Maybe even AI it, I'm thinking.
Maybe. We'll have to see what happens. If they do AI, they do want to send their
Ow.
SI in first to kind of distract the survivors so it doesn't take any extra chip. We do see that Smoker going for a separation pull. That tank is going to go for a walk, it looks like. Yes, indeed. Looks like he was gonna go for a rock on
What?
that charger, man, just... What was that? Did I miss it?
The charger just kind of walked in there and got a charge on somebody who had his back turned. It
That was
it was rather
interesting.
random. But yeah, not really doing a lot with that hit. I'm kind of wondering what they were going for there. Because this tank's pretty much dead. I guess they're just bleeding him. Hunter, of course, getting destroyed before he can even pounce.
So this tank is pretty much just gonna die. That boomer is there.
I don't know what they're doing with their SI. It almost seems like they're gonna screen around at this point. They've
wow.
wasted quite a few SI. Jay and Pola still sitting at 0 points right here. They need to be careful because Snugglegunz can still make it through this map, and they're sitting at quite a hefty health bonus right now.
I hate stairs.
Yeah, Zoe and Lewis really didn't take any damage at all, looks like. But Bill and Francis got pretty much destroyed because that tank got both of those in cap.
Yeah, definitely.
So that was a good tank play there, but after that after those two initial caps, he pretty much just should have went back for it.
We do have a charge and a spitter on this hit right here. We'll have to see if they're going to trigger it before or after the survivors start this event. Looks like we're getting a little bit of a split here. The SI aren't quite prepared to hit on it. Survivors are bleeding out pretty hard though, on 2 of them. And the event has been started. It's time for the run back. Charger and Jockey going in on the back 2 players right now. Charger missing. I believe a smoker did land on Lewis there for a little bit, but then he got completely cleared. Not any damage going in onto the 2 players carrying health bonus at this point.
But you know, at this point, if they even land one good attack on either of the survivors that aren't bleeding, they are not going to have that many pills because right now, both of those survivors are just bleeding out the whole
Yeah.
Reloading.
and that's not going to be great. I actually, a while ago, it was a pug with me, Purple, Basic, and can't remember who our 4th was. We played against BMW and L4D2 and we won for the sole reason that we bled them out. They had 3 survivors bleeding, and we just absolutely interrupted. We see the hit coming in. Snugglegunz managed to land a pounce him on that charger. Yes, Francis, who was in the room there, getting at least maybe 1 pound. I'm not sure, but that was a good amount of damage. And that boomer managed to go in for a proxy.
Yeah, survivors taking a lot of chip on their 2 bleeding players. They're doing a good job holding that permanent health bonus, protecting those 2 players, but they aren't going to be able to sit around very long for the rest of the map.
Yeah, but long story short, what I was trying to get at was bleeding.
Yeah.
Is way underrated, and a lot of teams need to do it more. If they have even 2 people bleeding, it's just that's 2 health decay per second. I'm not sure what the decay is, but I think it's just 1 per second, if I'm right.
It's something like that, yeah. I have a
So-
shout out from Bushoinknov to 3-bagging. Definitely a good term.
It is a great term. Gotta thank Twist for that one.
We do have a tri-cap right now with a smoker. There are some setups, I've seen only a couple setups that have actually worked fairly, at least with some good consistency for a death shard.
Yeah.
But they all require that smoker, so we'll have to see if they try to go for that. It looks like the SI are just switching positions a lot right now, trying to figure out where they want to be.
What I would like to see is having a Hunter land on that person that comes through that door, and then having the charger come from behind. That would be the easiest death charge in the world. If they do want to go for a death charge, but if they want to just go for a normal hit on that wedge, then
Absolutely.
I see why they're setting up back here, and they're pretty much just getting ready to hit them as that witch is coming in. Which is
Of
a very
course,
good
if the
idea.
witch gets lit, I don't think they'll be able to do anything with her. But it'll be a really good opportunity to hit the survivors anyway. Just a good trigger for it. On the other hand, we do have the mob timer coming down right now. 5 seconds, and we'll have a horde survivor.
Did you see that?
No.
He threw the gas cannon and rolled over on the edge, so they don't have any gas for the switch now. Tony Stark in the cave showing us why he really loves this game and why he's really good with gas cannons.
The SI are coming in at this. Charger going getting some punches, not going to get a death charge. He does completely punch down Malcontent.
And he's going to be black and white.
Yeah, they may just have to leave him at this point, but
And what
even
they
so,
are
they'll
doing
have
and
a
what
pretty
they
big
should be
help
doing
bonus.
right now is going for that witch crown, and it looks like they are indeed going to get it.
Yep. Kiki Kikobi making quick work of that wedge.
I just can't get over that. If you just zoom down here, you can see this gas can on the ground. It's so
Yeah.
funny. We should see their next setup pretty quickly. They might actually have another shot at a death surge if they do so wish to do that. But before, like they proved that they
Survivor's
didn't
a little
really
bit
care for
split
that.
here. Boom getting stuffed, but then popped by another teammate, I believe. Charger getting punches on Bill. He's gonna go down.
Black and
with that.
white.
Oh, the Black and White's dead. Lewis now takes the chip. Finally, that health bonus is gonna start going down. We do have one survivor capped right now. Health bonus only sitting at 183. That's if they leave Kiki down right there. They are gonna get him up pretty quick though. I believe we're gonna have another hit happen before the survivors get into that safe room though.
Yeah, the
Health
only
bonus at
aside they're
180.
going to have is Bo Flex, and Jay and Jeff should be at the jockeys going to go for scratches, maybe a ride before they get inside.
Nope.
That rhymed, but
That ride
didn't
was
get inside.
denied.
So Snugglegun's kind of closing up the gap here, but they still are down 1,400. And at this point, it's really looking like BNT is pretty much just going to win, no matter what, even if they wipe right out of the safe room. Unless they get an insanely good health bonus, which is nigh impossible for even the best team.
Yeah. Especially on this map.
The
This early
helicopter
tank
pilot better be
can
here.
already do so much work that it's pretty impossible to survive the entire map. I've got a shout out from Triple Nipple to Nutman. Take me over bio. I know how to make you feel like a real woman.
Got a lot of romance in the air tonight.
Yeah.
So, like I said, it already looks like Belligerent pretty much run this one, but Snugglegunz being the gentlemen they are going to play out. We're just really just going to wait for them to ready up.
Certainly. Now for this first tank right here, I'm gonna have to say that the most consistent way I've seen to deal with this tank on Survivor side is to take advantage of the fact that you can shoot through this safe room wall right here. Like, basically you have to leave the safe room to make the tank lose rage, and then when he finally does commit, you just go back in and you shoot him through that wall as he's coming in and leaving. I mean, there's
Yes,
a little
sir.
more finesse to it than that, but basically the fact that you can shoot through that wall is what you need to take advantage of.
Yeah, and what a lot of better Left 4 Dead 1 teams do, if the tank does spawn a little bit later, is they'll set themselves up right outside so they can chip them down the hallway and block those two
Yeah.
door spawns. And that usually works out really well, especially for the survivors if they don't get caught. And what they'll do is one person downstairs blocking that one spawn under the stairs.
Right.
So the only thing they would have to watch out for is a bolt, maybe somehow a boom. I don't know how that would happen.
Well, I've seen teams try to do that. Against good teams, though, I've never seen it be too successful because, one, you've got the safe room spawns, and if you send, like, chargers out from back in the safe room, you can
that's right, I
block
forgot about
survivors into there. And a jockey from the front coming behind the tank and, you know, getting one of those front survivors can really screw things up, too. So it's a little bit harder to do on Left 4 Dead 2, but it's still kind of doable. It's just really sort of risky.
Yeah, that's the one thing I actually forgot about was you can get safe from spawns in Left 4 Dead 2.
Oh, yeah.
So that doesn't seem very orthodox now that I think about it. In Left 4 Dead 1 it does work really well, but in Left 4 Dead 2 not so much.
I have seen teams do it, but you really need to be able to get a lot of chip to make it worth it. Like, it has to be a really late spawn, and you have
Even
to
then
be
it seems
set up
really
for it.
risky because you can
Yeah.
only block one of the doors if you have people blocking the safe room spawn and the under the stairs spawn somehow.
It was like we're waiting for Team Snugglegunz last player.
We are already up and the match is going live. Belligerent will be starting off on Survivors, of course, because they have the lead with Snugglegunz on
I
Infected.
might need these.
So this map I feel is really
Grab and peel.
interesting, to say the least. First tank isn't necessarily hard to play, but ones when you start getting on the roof can be really interesting, especially with the SI and Left 4 Dead 2.
Looks like we're going to see him sack that spitter to try to get him to become tank, but they did not quite get it. So Kiki Kikobi has the tank right now, and I believe they lost their charger to get that tank, which is really unfortunate.
Very much so. And they are just chipping him right out to the safe room. See, they're kind of taking the same idea, but if he's not careful, he could get pulled, and that tank could be into intercept.
Yeah.
But it looks
Even if he
like
gets cleared quickly, they'd be able to get the tank in there and get some really good punches. I'm a little worried about that setup. They do have the tricap with the charger again. This is a pretty good setup, and they're going for the pull. Charger going in, who manages to grab one of them. Looks like he'll probably get cleared, but he's not cleared yet. Tony Stark pushing these survivors down. Looks like Zoe trying to juke past the tank, not going to get it. Looks like they're just going to go for this kill on this charger. They do have the in-cap. The tank just needs to babysit a little better than he's doing. He just took a lot of chip there and did not get a punch. He's getting stuck on this doorway. I believe there's a trash can in the way.
yes.
And they do manage to get a punch onto Zoe, but now the tank is completely down. Spit going in there, but not going to get a whole lot. Unless they can manage to kill Bowflex in here in the next few seconds. That's
Yeah,
going to be it for that tank.
I got you.
I really think he needs to stop getting so bullheaded with those tanks and just trying to punch them around corners because
Yeah.
he's not landing them. And in the end, he just dies a lot faster.
Right.
He wasn't gonna force the kill on that charger. He should have just moved out a
Yeah,
little
he
bit.
should have
Let
just.
them kill the charger. It's not a
Yeah.
huge deal, you know.
Now they are going to have a hit here for on top of the ladder. It looks like they've got all their SI and they're ready to do it with the charger, jockey, and spitter, which is a really great setup for right here. Looks like the charger is going to be going for some sort of a death charge here, probably set up by the smoker. I have to see how the survivors handle this. The health bonus up top right now, just sort of checking things out. I believe Bowflex is sitting there trying to get some picks on anybody who decides to peek in for some scratches. Bowflexen is at top. They're probably going to send him up first since he's the lowest health bonus at this point. And Spit going in on top. The survivors decide to push up into it. Charger going out, not quite getting the death charge out. Not quite the right angle. Jockey 2 is going in there, not able to get Bill off of that ledge right there. And Bowflexen's going to go down on the low ledge right there, which actually can be pretty bad.
I can help you.
Yeah, he
They are
took,
getting him up quickly though.
They didn't get the death charge, but at least he still took a lot of fall damage and he got incapped really quick. So
I believe
wasn't
Bowflexen is black and white now.
Yes, sir, he is. So that actually ended up working out fine. It could have been a little better, but you know, getting someone black and
Yeah.
white is just as good as killing them, pretty much. Because once the
Pretty
tank
close
comes in,
to
you
it.
can just pretty much focus Bowflex, and he does have the HR
Yeah.
too. So
He's black and white,
Win-win
and he's
situation.
eating all their pills. Now we have the
Spawn
SI
is
going in
up.
for another hit. Jockey getting stopped though.
Check your fire.
And I believe the spitter not able to get anything, sort of going random. Pull getting destroyed, and the boom does go in, which is good enough to just drop these SI right here.
the event has been started.
Here they come.
Okay, guys.
So they have the only person they have bleeding out of the black and white is he, like you said, he's just gonna be eating those pills the whole time, and that's gonna be a lot of lost health they could have had. Pill.
Yeah, we do have 3 survivors though, just sitting barely above a slow. We're gonna see them all eat their pills probably within the next attack. And then the survivors are basically gonna be out of pills. They've got 2 more sitting there, but they're gonna go pretty quickly, I think. Looks like the SI just trying to get set up for this attack. Charger spawning up below. Going around to the front though. Jockey going in, only landing for a split second. Charger not quite figuring out how to get onto top. We're seeing an artillery spit there that's just sort of separating the survivors a little. And it looks like that Charger went for a death charge he was most certainly not going to get.
Reloading.
I'm reloading.
Kiki deciding to show off some of his professional artillery spitter skills. Keeping the spitter alive. Not the best idea, but you can get some good separation with those artillery spits on this map. Of course, he's deciding to use it before any of his friend SI are up. Not quite the greatest. decision making there. Looks like they're gonna wait for the spitter to get his charge up again and then go in for another hit. Hunter is pouncing up on the back, getting completely devastated by Polas with that silenced SMG. Boomer going in, getting a really good intercept for that jockey. Unfortunately, he pops the jockey up also. The hit is now down, but the survivors are still taking a decent amount of chip from these 2-2 hits.
Now, another thing you can do as tank is, it's been getting actually kind of popular now, especially if you're playing really path. So what they'll do is the tank will pretend to move in and kind of get the survivors just to pop their pills and then move out before taking too much damage. And that could be really big if you're just trying to bleed them out.
Sounds like somebody's been watching StarCraft going into Forces Stim, huh?
Hey, it works for the skin too. They actually popped their pills already, so it looks like it didn't need to be.
And the molly going that's spreading everywhere, but not quite to where the tank is. Getting a little bit chipped there by Bill. But the pull going in, oh, Bill getting out of the way just in time. Charger going off, getting a little bit of hit, and they do have a boom in on 2 of the survivors. However, spawns are now down, and this tank is still not able to commit or get sight. I'm not completely sure what they're doing with them. I think they're just going to try to do one of these long rock tanks, which, to be honest, I don't think is going to work against a team like this one.
Probably not, but we just have to wait and see. They may just... Kiki might just not be that confident in his tank skills and might just want to pass it. Which is never a good idea. You always want to try and be confident with your tanks, even if you may not believe in your mind that you can kill them, you always want to stay positive.
Yeah.
But Tony Stark is going to move in, it looks like. That rock is... I'm not sure why he's throwing a rock, but it doesn't manage to land on him, and then the jockey, right after getting hit by a rock, he eats the jockey to the face, getting a bit of damage thrown on it. So he managed to actually get quite a bit of damage, but that Tom is going to light him, though. A nice Tom thrown by Zoe, being played by Polas,
I believe. Oh, the tank has just dropped down. If he can find a way to get in without taking too much chip, he'll still be able to get in there with enough health, I think, to go in with these SI. Of course, he's already down at about half health, and he's going to get chipped a lot coming in right here. It looks like this tank is going to be dead. Charger going in and getting destroyed right there. Wow. That looks like it's just about over this tank. What? Jeff gets completely home-runned off of the side of the building right here. Wow.
I actually vividly remember when I was playing with some of my real friends that were just starting to play this game back in December, I think. He got the tank and these 3 pub survivors lined up and he multi-punched 3 of them off in one swing. It was so funny, and then got my buddy playing him just freaked out. He's like, it's so amazing. But yeah, Jeff pretty much just eating that punch and got sent flying by the tank.
Survivor's really low right now. Charger going for that depth charge again. Most certainly not getting it. We do have a pounce landing for just a split second. That both SI getting cleared really quickly. They should probably stop going for those death charges. They could have had a tri-cap there pretty easily.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. They need to stop being so focus on the charges and just go for the tri-cap. You easily kill 3 of them instead of just killing 1.
I mean, even getting a charge landed for a second, or getting a punch, would have put these survivors down into, like, dire straits. They're so low right now.
Definitely, and the next hit is up right now, so we should see them going in pretty quickly. You have a 2-2 setup, not very great. Smoker and a jockey as their cappers. That Boomer's gonna come in on from up the ladder. The jockey's gonna get skeeted as well. Smoker got destroyed and the spitter didn't land a spitter at all, so that attack got shut down.
They could have done a little better with that Boomer, I think. This is really too bad. They didn't get anything. And it looks like it's just about time for the next tank. Maybe one more horde, I'm not completely sure. Nope, tank is up. Spawning in the hands of Malcontent right now. And it looks like he's just gonna push in with it, which is probably a good idea. Oh wow, he's getting hit by the turret though. He drops down to juke it, but we do have a double boom landing. And it looks like SI are getting wrecked right now. Charger getting a double on the 2 boom survivors. Tank pushing the last non-boom survivor. And Jay goes flying off the map. goodbye. And that was it for BNT.
So they're literally out of the win range here. They can't even score enough points to win. So. But they are going to play out. Like I said, they are gentlemen.
I might need these pills.
Let's get the hell out of here.
Now, I'm going to go ahead and predict a wipe right here on this first tank.
And why is that, sir?
Because BNT has shown us that if we can say anything about them during this game, it's that their tank timing has been pretty much impeccable on every map, save for maybe map 4. It's not incredibly hard to wipe with this tank if you play it right, and I think BNT is going to be able to do it.
It would be very entertaining to see. So I'm kind of hoping that as well, but I'm kind of hoping also that they are able to make it out alive. We are seeing that jockey gonna go and get that stop by Francis though. Charger letting him loose, going almost got a pound, but he got it cleared before that. The tank didn't really make it in that far, so if they
He did
throw
get a
top in
rock,
there,
I believe.
oh, did he?
I didn't do damage, but he got rage off of it. And now he is sort of cornered. Well, they won't have a Tav though if we remove those from the safe room. Right. And Fogel.
So he's kind of just punching the wall for whatever reason. I guess he's kind of angry right now.
Understandable.
He's trying to
Trapped
keep
in a
his
room.
rage by hitting the door, but it doesn't work.
Despite all his rage, he's still just a tank in the room.
Yes. So tank is passed to Bowflex. We should see the next hit come in pretty quick. Jay has a 10-second spawn timer. Looks like they are going for that quad cap as usual.
Indeed. And the tank's gonna go ahead and commit right here. Smoker and Jockey both spawned up in front, not able to get that. Wow, tank going in, does intercept at the door, getting a double punch, I believe, maybe even a triple. He has 2 survivors cornered right now, just 1 cornered, and the pole managing to take him away. Looks like the tank's just gonna babysit this for a little bit. Not quite able to get the rock right there. Now he's gonna have to babysit this. He's set in a similar position as Tony Stark. Bowflex going in to try to get a punch. Not landing it, but not really getting chipped too much with that either. Of course, they are going to be able to pick up this survivor. Bowflex and may try for a punch. Malcontent walking straight into the tank right there. Of course, the tank does get killed.
I really think Bowflex should have just stayed with that. At that point, he could have gotten way more damage by just staying in the fight. But instead, when he was up top trying to guard the smoker, he took so much damage from 2 Uzis and that HR.
Absolutely.
So what I think is...
So much for my prediction.
But yeah, I really like tanks are starting to get out more often, but I think at the same time they should just stay in. I know people really like to think that staying
especially
out would
in
be
a
good
small
idea.
area like that.
Yeah, you can get way more punches by just staying in close proximity instead of running away for no current reason. But they are baiting this ladder endlessly. They are just, oh my gosh.
No smoker for
expecting them to
BNT yet.
go up, but it's not happening. Francis is faking it, and they are looking like they're just going to try and jockey when he is almost up. Francis finally beating
out that
full
spin.
extent and then jumping down to avoid being spit.
Wait,
But
did he
did
just
get-
in-cap
Yeah,
himself
he
by
just-
jumping off there?
Yeah. If you jump the ladder there, you jump off, you get gapped. So they are really just trying to bait them here, but they are getting punched. Finally goes up and he's going to avoid, but he actually gets jockey. The Charger's going to go for Bill, and finally looks like the spin did go downstairs. Bill took quite a bit of damage, was the only one left with a solid health opponent. But that was some...
Really interesting bait.
That was some corn style baiting right there, just endlessly baiting and baiting and baiting. Oh my god. It was pretty funny though. I'm not gonna
I found
lie.
it entertaining.
Reloading.
I was just getting ready to talk. I'm like,
Yeah. And the boom does go in right now, showing how to get a boom properly in this map. And they managed to land one of those death charges that we just berated the other team so much for going for. The Hunter's still pouncing around right here, managing to get the 1 survivor left that is separated and mobile. And now it looks like Kobe is the only survivor up. He's completely hoarded without a melee weapon. Boomer going in for some of the final scratches, and it looks like this is it for our survivor team. Wow. Tony Stark in the cave, completely dead now, and a DP for the end right there.
that's gonna be GG. Yeah. gonna lie, I laughed a lot as soon as I seen that. They went for that charge 3 times and they didn't land a single one, and on their first attempt,
Yeah.
My gosh. That was actually a really interesting series there.
Yeah, that was pretty interesting. A little one-sided, but it was mostly on just a couple of maps. I definitely enjoyed watching that.
Definitely.
So yeah, congratulations to Team Belligerent for winning that game, and I believe Team Snugglegunz is still going to be in a sort of loser's bracket for 3rd place. So I'm just going to finish some shoutouts. Do you have any more, Sygnus?
Negatory.
Intel is reiterating his previous shoutout that apparently he missed before. And I've got a shoutout to Close Games from Bushoinknov again, who wants to give me all of my shoutouts this game. Alright, well, I think that's about it. For everybody still in the cast, definitely check out L4DNation.com. There's a forum up there. It should become a pretty big community hub for Left 4 Dead. They've got a Twitter you can follow to get updates about casts like this one happening. And of course, cybergamer.org is down right now, but it should be up again soon, so you can check out the finals matches on there and whatnot, and we should be opening the ladder after these finals finish. So keep an eye out for that stuff. Anything else you want to add, Sygnus?
Alright. That's all I got. That wasn't as good as it normally is, but...
Well, it's always nice to have a jockey laugh on cast. Anyway, thanks for casting with me, Sygnus. Thanks, Anonke, for doing the cameraman.
It was my pleasure.
And we'll see you guys next cast. Hopefully we'll be doing some more matches soon. Peace out.